Ajahn, would you like to add anything?
I think that if there's no understanding of a moment, it cannot be the understanding of anything at all. Just consider each word. If there's no understanding of a moment, there can never be the understanding of the truth of whatever is there in life at all. No matter years and years ago, what is meant by a moment, even just one word. See, when we talk about many situations, so many uncountable moments, but what is there in each moment? And what is meant by a moment? No understanding, just being about it in one's own way, one's own thinking, one's own thoughts. But in truth, what is there? A moment. What is a moment? What does it mean? Nothing or something or what? A moment. We don't talk about what we used to think about people and things, food and dishes and so on. Just a moment. Is there a moment? And what is there? A moment. And what is the truth of that very moment? When there's no understanding of moment, how can there be the understanding of what is there? From moment to moment, many moments, we're talking about different situations. So many uncountable moments. But what is there? Just in a moment, one moment only.
It's so hard to experience one
Please,
moment.
please go on.
I think he said, Ajahn, he said it's so hard to experience just one moment.
No experiencing, no. Whatever, just what is there. This is the beginning. Experience without understanding what is there. Experience what? No understanding. That's why it has to begin. So very little, a moment to moment, to condition the understanding of what is there in a moment, or what is a moment. See, we think that we understand a lot, understand the word, what is meant, but the truth, what is the truth of that we are talking about? It's easy to say life exists in a moment, but what is meant by a moment and what is there in a moment without understanding one moment, what is there? How can there be the understanding of anything in life? Because no understanding of a moment. That's why the teachings of the Buddha is so very subtle. And the understanding has to be so subtle in order to understand the subtlety of what is there now. Many uncountable moments. No understanding of any moments. So begin to understand the truth of what is there. Because it's true, but it does not appear as it is. See, who can say this? What is there appearing does not appear as it is at all. So begin to learn about the truth of a moment. There must be a moment of what? And what is there? Just in a moment only. Never arise again. Never appears again. So what is there in the moment is the beginning to understand each moment in life as it can be experienced, to learn about the absolute truth. What is there now? How many moments? And what are there in many moments? Uncountable moments. This is the beginning to understand just one moment, one reality. I hear the phone call. How many moments? What is heard? How come the idea of the phone? And how come call? What is meant by call? It's the moment of hearing. Hearing is hearing only. There cannot be other what we take for this and that in a moment. And even in a moment, what are they? So very subtle. And beginning to consider the truth of the words about now as it is, little by little, to consider carefully whether it's true or not, in order to be truthful to the truth. Otherwise, there cannot be the understanding of the truth at all, because the truth is now at this very moment. But what is there? What is a moment? That's why beginning to understand a moment that cannot be taken for anything at all. Only an absolute reality appearing as the object. But there are also other reality to condition that moment too, unknown. That's why learn to understand just one reality at a time and in the moment, to know what moment is there from now on. It's a moment of what? A moment of no understanding of what is there as a truth, as it's so true as it is. Sound, we don't have to use the word sound, but it's a reality, and we don't have to use it's heard. But the moment of hearing, we don't use any word that I am hearing or it's heard. But what is there in a moment? Just in a moment, never arise again. It's there by conditions and then gone instantly. Is that true? But so many moments now, if there's no understanding of what is there in a moment, it's impossible to let go ignorance, not understanding the truth of what is there as it is. Just think about, if nothing arises at all, can there be a moment? See, no idea. But when something is there, moment of hearing, even we don't use the word hearing or moment, but it's there. And what is the truth of that? It's only that which can be heard and then gone. Hearing cannot arise to hear that which has gone at all. So there are so many things or realities to be studied carefully to understand the truth, the absolute truth, in order just to let go ignorance and the idea of I. How can there be the idea of I if there's no reality which arises and experience anything at all? Impossible. The tree doesn't think that it's me or I'm a tree. So whenever there is the reality which is there arising and experiencing an object, as it experiences, it knows that's I, which know instantly, unknowingly, all the time. But is it true? Or it's just a reality? No one can stop its arising at all. Or Abhidhamma, Paramadhamma, absolute truth, not belong to anyone, not in anyone's control. And who knows that it's conditioned to arise to just be that reality, hearing. If we don't use the word, it hears, it's there and gone, never to arise again. So if there is more understanding of the truth of that which is conditioned to arise and then gone instantly, never to arise again, can it be taken for I? It's gone, never to arise again, no matter what. And what is there in a moment must be the absolute truth. But it's not known as it is just a reality. The arising and falling away is so very fast, incredible how fast it is. As one opens one's eyes, so many things around. How come? Each one has to impinge on the eye base as is seen only, but different object which is seen, arising and falling away so very quickly, conditions shape and form right now, instantly. even like it's no thinking about it at all. It's there already. But in truth, what is there just in a moment, only a moment, which is different from the next moment, on and on and on. That's why ignorance is there. The succession of the arising and falling away so very quickly, different objects is experienced, but they arise and fall away unknowingly. What is made is the nimitta, to be known as shade and form, and take it for something. And that's why I hear the phone call. But in truth, in a moment, the absolute truth cannot be taken for anything permanent at all. It's gone. But since the reality arising and falling away so very rapidly, the object does not appear as it is. Is this true? Because they are different. Even the reality which is seen cannot be the same at all. Shade and color and whatever is there, taken for something. And the idea of I experience it, because whatever arises and experience, it knows it's I. Otherwise, when it cannot experience, there's no idea of I at all, no experiencing at all. That's why learning to understand just a moment what is there can lead to more understanding of no one and no thing. Not just believe from the very beginning that there's no I, but in truth, what is there? Can it be I? Seeing? It's not the I based. It's not that which can be seen. It's a reality. And when there is the reality which is conditioned to arise, can anyone stop it, change it? Impossible. It's gone. No matter you try to remember it, cling to it, it's not there anymore. Just a moment, condition, a moment of understanding little by little, until it's strong enough to condition moment of understanding that we're talking about what are they now experience, but no direct understanding of the nature of just even at all. That's why there can be the understanding of the difference degree of any reality. There must be, you have heard a lot about the word sati right now, a moment of understanding. But sati, it's not right understanding. But if there is no sati, how can there be the understanding of what is heard? So it's different from other reality, which hears but no sati of what is heard to be known as it is little by little. There cannot be any understanding. But the object is experienced by the other realities, which is not sati. See, so very, very subtle in a moment. And they are rare because this moment is rare. Seeing is there. Who can say that I didn't see when it's seen, when they see, resting and see, and then gone? So consider the truth of what is there in a moment, no matter what moment. Uncontrollable to have such and such to be object of understanding. All depends on conditions. Even thinking, see, without seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching the five doorways, can they be thinking about them? But by way of thinking about this person or that situation and so on, it's only a moment. And what is there in a moment? Even thinking from moment to moment in process by conditions. It's a true, just study one word at a time about what is said, whether it's true or it's not like we think at all. Begin to understand, not just hearing the different words and take it for what is the meaning of that, but what is the nature of that which is there now. It's the meaning of the word. Not just to remember, but to understand that it's there now, like seeing. It's not just knowing that they're seeing right now, but what is seeing, only seeing. And seeing arises many, many times in a day, almost all day. But it's not known, it's not thought about at all. So how can it be object of understanding of its truth? That's why understanding that actually, if there's no understanding of what is there, one reality at a time, it's impossible to let go the idea of self, because what is that reality cannot be changed to be anyone or anything at all. Like hardness, see, it's not the teeth, it's not the bone, it's not the skin, it's not the nose, it's hard. Is that true? In truth, that it can experience only through body sense. It cannot be seen at all, hardness. Heat and cold cannot be seen. Is that true? But each moment is so very, very rapidly arising and falling away and no return. Only it conditions the idea and the thought of people and things of that which is there. It does not appear as it is, arising and falling away. So it seems like it's there, permanent. My house, my body, everything. So begin to consider each word of reality, of the truth of it, whether it's true or not. This is the beginning of Satya Parami. Be truthful to the truth. So is it true or is not true? Can it be known or it cannot be known? It's there, why can't it be known? But it's not just no thought about it, no word about it, to consider the truth of it, and there can be the understanding of it instantly, impossible. That's why what is there in life is what Buddha taught about. What is there? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, liking, feeling, remembering, and so on. They are there in life to be known, not far away at all. So very close, so close. Nothing is as close as seeing right now. It's not far away, but it's not known as it is. That's why beginning to understand the word of truth about it, and the reality which consider is not self, it's them. We heard about the name of different Cetasikas, what are there? Manasikara, attending to what is there by different degrees. For example, the Manasikara, which arises with seeing, can attend just to the object. A reality which arises to perform its function in the beginning, just to attend to that characteristic. So it is known as it is when it's there. Or it's known as something when there is thinking about it. It's there performing the function of attending, rightly or wrongly, carefully or carelessly. Or from birth to death in each life, as long as there are conditions for whatever arises. No one can stop the arising as long as there are conditions for its arising. Who knows? People were born differently. Different country, different family, different whatever is there as characteristic of one reality at a time by conditions. No one at all understanding the truth of what is there now as a self as it is can lead to arahataship, the eradication of kusala and akusala, which are conditions for birth and death, on and on and on. Even right now, who can stop the arising of this moment after that moment, which is gone? Nothing to do but to understand whether it's true or not. It's not just to believe, but to consider carefully what is true and what is not true. And life goes on by conditions as usual. It doesn't mean that when there's no self or when there's no I and the self can do many things. In truth, no understanding of what is there as no self at all. So beginning to be truthful to the truth of this moment, this is the way to develop the understanding of the truth. For example, see, who can say that it cannot experience whatever it's now seeing? Impossible. No matter one says, no matter one thinks, no one can change the truth of the reality at all. And that is the parami, satya parami, to be truthful to the truth. Otherwise, the truth cannot be known at all. Even it's so true that it's not there anymore. Like that is just heard, gone forever. Condition is arising and it's gone. But the truth is what? No thing in it, no idea. If there's no thinking about that which is said before as something. What is that sound? See, something, not known. What is called, what is used to be taken for. What?